I have very sensitive skin, and it's insane. The chemical makeup that is used is, such a horrible thing for fair Irish white Hitler skin that I have, and it's been very, very tough for me. And I've been dealing with that, but the movie is hilarious and very funny, and very excited to be a part of it, and, it'll come out, I don't know, but we've been doing it, and it's a lot of fun, and, Spade's a legend, and Theo's a legend. These guys are just the best, so it's great to be working with them. Yeah, there's a Variety article about it. Spade and Theovon to star in buddy comedy Bus Boys, and it's really funny. It's an old school comedy. It's really like a, throwback to when things were really, 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 movies were funny. Set in a border town in Arizona, the movie follows David and Theo, two friends who think becoming waiters will solve all of their problems. It is great. It is really funny and really enjoyable. And that's why I'm out here in LA right now. And it's raining here, and the rain has hopefully cleared the air. The concern with LA, the very health conscious LA, was the air after the fires. What is the air quality? Everybody was debating it and calling their doctors. Is it okay? What about the air? People wanted to make sure they could go outside, and the carcinogens, cancer-causing chemicals, the batteries from the burned up Teslas, the lithium ion, all of that stuff, the toxicity is out of control. So people are correct to wonder if it is safe. And I think now there's going to be mudslides a little bit, maybe, perhaps, and toxic ash. So there will be rivers of toxic ash and mudslides and things like that. So another joy, another blessing for Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles. Another win, another W. People here, man, I hope they're resilient. I mean, I'm leaving, but I hope the rest of you are resilient. That's the way I feel about areas, by the way. I leave. I love that you all fight for it. I'm fighting for it. It's my home. Good for you. I go. I leave. I leave. I leave. I believe in me. That's what I believe in. I believe in me. I don't believe a zip code is my worth. I don't believe I am connected to a landmass more than I am connected to my desire to live. So while I will visit Los Angeles, I enjoy it, from time to time. I've never really lived here full time. I've always been, I hop around. And my heart goes out, and I will say this. I respect the people who feel rooted here, who feel like this is their home, and they want to stay and fight for it. I personally am leaving. I will leave. I'm going to go. But the people here that feel like the mudslides and the fires and the toxic ash and the earthquakes and the crime and the taxes and the evaporating industry and all of that, I get it. Hey, man, the guacamole is good. It is good. That's the reality. It's good. And the sushi is good. And it's a great city. And it's a great place to live. By the way, newsflash, nowhere is great to live for your entire life. You have eras in your life. Taylor Swift said this. And there's an era to be here. There's an era to stay put. There's an era to flee. There's times to, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And I think there are just times when an area is beating you down on every level. It is not a mark of strength to stay. It is a mark of stupidity. Do not confuse stupidity with strength. Fire, debris, and ash contain, quote, harmful substances such as asbestos, heavy metals, and toxic chemicals. The Los Angeles County Department of Public Health Director, Dr. Barber, and they wouldn't even let me drive down the PCH because I called Nobu Malibu and I said, I want a reservation and I want to see some devastation. And I wasn't allowed. I wanted to take a little survey of the damage myself, see if there's any land buying opportunities. That's my main thing now. Can I get in? Can I get in? I want to sponsor an event at the city hall or whatever. Maybe not city hall, but somewhere official, a government building. And I want to call it, how do we buy burned land? And it's going to be for investors. It's going to be and maybe we book like a hotel conference room and we do a little summit. We do a little talk for the members of the investment community. How do we buy Altadena? How do we buy the charred land from out from under these people and turn it into something? How can we do it? Because, God damn it, I'll be damned if Gaza is going to get a resort, but we're not going to throw one in the Palisades. Gaza's going to get a couple of new outdoor malls and a Four Seasons, but we're not going to do it in the Palisades. Again, people were messaging me going, I can't believe you called it on the Gaza thing. And it's like, guys, that's not even an incident where I called it. That is the most obvious thing ever. If you're a sentient human being and you've paid attention to anything ever, it's obvious they were never, the plan for Gaza was never for the Palestinians to go back and play soccer there. That was never the plan for Gaza. The plan for Gaza was redevelopment. Now, a lot of people are angry at Donald Trump. Do we have the video of the President of the United States suggesting that perhaps the United States should occupy Gaza, rebuild it, and have a presence there indefinitely? Now, I know what he meant. A lot of people don't. And a lot of people are judging his plan without even looking at the renderings. When a new condo is built, you have to look at the renderings first. What are the finishes going to be? Is it a light or a dark color palette? Trump didn't get into specifics. There may be gyms and pools, a porte cochere. You can pull your car up. There may be services. There may be a private restaurant for the residents. We don't know. We don't know. This is a very ambitious new development project. New dev is the term in the biz. And our leader, Donald Trump, our president, is suggesting a redevelopment of Gaza, and people are flipping out and screaming, and they have not seen one rendering. It actually might be stunning. Now, I know what you're saying to me. Tim, hold on. Nothing ever really looks like the renderings. The brochure and the online renderings usually show you the penthouse. They show you the sky collection, the tower residences. And the $4 million condo is a little closet somewhere like on floor 7, right after the amenity floor. But what I'm saying is you cannot judge Donald Trump's plan to fill Gaza with nice high-end shit until you've seen the fucking renderings. You have not seen what this man is proposing. You're judging him because it's knee-jerk reaction time all the time with people. I bet he's got something, for example, the Grove in Los Angeles, which Rick Caruso owns, who should be the mayor, but these fucking psychopaths that live here don't want that. This guy developed these outdoor malls that are nice. They're really nice. I don't know what people think we have left in America, but all we really have left is an outdoor mall. But I don't know in what fantasy land they think that instead of having outdoor malls, we should have indigenous drum circles or whatever these people think is coming. He developed all these nice outdoor malls, and one of them has a train going through it on Christmas. So what if what if that was part of the plan? Let's listen to Donald Trump in his own words discussing his plan to turn Gaza into a luxury resort, which I bet people would like. It would cheer it up. And I'm being serious. Now, obviously, I don't like an open-ended commitment in the Middle East for American soldiers and troops. I don't like it. I don't think the Palestinians should be kicked out of Gaza. What I am saying is that a farmer's market, a couple of outdoor malls, some nice condos, a boardwalk, an amusement park, a couple of a driving range. This is not the worst idea. Now, he did not present it well. He's shooting from the hip. It's off the cuff. America doing it, I'm not necessarily in love with. But let's hear him. Let's listen to this man, because again, I think we're all jumping the gun here, and we're not realizing there could be. It could be nice to have like a more of a global area with a few Palestinian restaurants, which I think is what they're getting, like a few Palestinian restaurants, because they love the olive oil. So you do some of that, but you make it more of a global hub for money laundering and kind of a empty corporate shell of a place that moves people in and out of it quickly and sucks their money away from them. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least two players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. I'm telling you right now, the big game is almost here, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the big game. Prize Picks is also giving away a free pick for the big game where one of the starting quarterbacks will only need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're not correct on at least one more stat projection, you can win real cash. Check out the promo tab to tail any of our Super Sweat Millie winners big game lineups. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you can win a split of $1 million in promo funds. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's an amazing deal. Great way to support the show. It's great. It's a great website. You don't even, great app, great whatever. You don't need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. Download the app today. Use code TIM to get $50 off instantly when you, Download the app today and use code TIM to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today and use code TIM to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Prize Picks, run your game. Prize Picks, run your game. So, all right, we're going to listen to the President of the United States talk about his plan for Gaza, which has gotten many people upset. Not a lot of people are supportive of this. People don't want a commitment in the Middle East. They don't want a U.S. face on the rebuilding of Gaza. Saudi Arabia came out and said, we're not going to normalize relations with Israel as long as this is the plan. I think Egypt, other allies, other people, whatever, people, regional actors don't want this. But let's let the president speak. Give him the floor here, because we don't know what they're planning. We don't, I feel this way about most development where you don't know what's going to happen. Are there amenities? Is there a pool? Is there a private restaurant? Is there a house car? Is it one of them that'll only take you 3 miles? Because there's not a lot of stuff in the vicinity of 3 miles, right? Is there a porte cochere? Do you pull in? Are there valets? Is it 24-hour valet? Is it a full-service building? Is it a fake? Is it a virtual doorman? Or is it real? These are the questions that we must ask here. Is it luxury? Is it uber luxury? There is a difference. What's going to happen? This was always going to be a thing. There was never going to be a situation where this wasn't a thing. Kushner, a lot of these guys are salivating. Real estate developers are salivating. Regional power players don't want it to go back to Hamas. They don't want it. They certainly they don't want Trump world there or whatever the plan is, but they certainly don't want it to be what it is. And the only way that people are going to get involved in that region, especially now, is if they think they can make a bucket of money. Why would you go and deal with the problems of doing anything in that region right now unless you think you can make a bucket of money? And that is the plan. That's what Jared Kushner's down there in Miami thinking of ways to carve up that beachfront. And they want it to be big hotels, shopping, high-end, a casino or two. I'm telling you, I knew it. I knew it. This is not, I'm not, in some cases, maybe I'm clairvoyant to a degree. But in this case, I'm not going to, I don't even take any credit for this. This is the most obvious thing that I've ever seen in my life. From the moment October 7th happened, I knew what was going to happen. And what was going to happen was a prolonged, devastating war, followed by a process of rebuilding. What do you think's going on in the Ukraine, by the way? All the Ukrainian people that have fled the country that are spending all your money, and we'll talk about that soon. They're in ski towns all over France. Tucker mentioned this, but a lot of people have mentioned it because it's true. I have friends in London and all these places that there's a lot of wealthy Ukrainians running around with American and UK money that they've laundered, and they don't know where the hell it is. And they're running around the world. And what do you think is going to happen to the Ukraine after this? Who do you think is going to try to get in there and rebuild that? What are you, nuts? You think the Pacific Palisades is big. This is a whole nother level. Palisades is a cute little town where some people that produce Desperate Housewives had a couple of $8-9 million, overvalued bungalows and a couple of $20-30 million homes on the cliff. One or two over 50 million, that one from Succession and stuff, but it wasn't Beverly Hills. It wasn't Malibu. It's not Bel Air. Palisades is predominantly newer money. And, we're talking about Gaza, prime. This is big. We're talking about religion. We're talking about the beginning. We're talking about this is big. We're talking about the Ukraine, the breadbasket of Europe. The vultures are coming, and why wouldn't they? What are you, silly? This is the way it works. This is how it happens. And it may be good. I know you're mad. But, Godiva, sometimes you get a little free piece of chocolate when you walk in. And isn't that better than getting acid thrown in your face? Maybe not. If you're throwing the acid. But my point is that Hamas is not a stable governing apparatus. So there's got to be some. Now, I'm not thrilled with this, but me being thrilled with it doesn't matter. I hope we've realized that. Things have a certain inertia where they're going to happen or not happen. And this might be a beautiful indoor-outdoor kind of mall where you would have, some luxury, some things that are nice. Maybe there'd be some things that are nice, and it's going to take a little time, and it's going to take some getting used to. Hamas is going to be working at the mall. They are going to be working there. It's the natural order of things. You're not defeating capitalism. What are you, nuts? You are not going to be defeating you can't stop what's coming there. It's coming. You're going to be working at Build-A-Bear, Hamas. Are you nuts? You're going to be the manager of a P.F. Chang's in Gaza. That's what's coming. You can't fight it. I know you want to, but you won't. You're going to be dealing with complaints about orange chicken. And you're going to go, God, I wish I could just fucking drag this table down into the tunnel. But you're not. You're going to go and you're going to get them a free fried rice. It's coming. You can't live the way you're living forever. You can't live in a network of tunnels forever. You're going to have to come above ground. And you're going to be making smoothies for people that visit the Four Seasons. I talked about that already. It's just going to happen. That's your sentence. That's your sentence. You're going to work at the casino, and it's not that bad. Historically, people have had a lot worse happen to them than just working at the casino. Let's listen to President Trump.
And at a late evening news conference, President Trump said for the first time the U.S. would take over rebuilding Gaza.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area.
When asked by NBC's Kelly O'Donnell if the U.S. presence would be permanent,
I do see a long-term ownership position, and I see it bringing great stability to that part of the Middle East and maybe the entire Middle East.
And still later,
we have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. And I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, This could be something.
Well, listen, he's being a real estate developer. That's what this term is interesting, because he's like, Greenland, let's go. Canada, we're back to imperialism. We're back to development. We're back to real estate. Yes, he's firing everyone. All these people. Can you believe he's firing everyone? What do you think happens when he gets in? He's going to give everyone bonuses who investigated him for 8 years? People get fired. You know, people get fired. You work a comedy club. They bring in a new booker. You don't work there anymore. You were fired. An agent came into my old agency. He fired my agent. I went to a new agency. People get fired. They bring their people in. The other people go. That's what happens. It's what's going on. He's thinking about real estate now. He's focused. The Gaza Strip. An American of Vegas, of the Middle East, the Riviera, French Riviera, Lake Como. We're talking about, come on, Monaco. And then Hamas, you work in the store. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. You work in the Apple store. Hamas works in the Apple store at Gaza. So what? It's not bad. Israel could have, it could have been a little less. They could have gone a little less hard there, but they didn't. And they've really, they put in. There's just no winning in that part of the world right now. And Trump's coming together and we're doing a Dave and Buster's, and Hamas is going to work there. They'll like it. You're going to like it with the scoop and the gelato. You're going to scoop gelato in the mall that is... Sorry, what did you think was going to happen? I wish they would do this in Detroit. I wish they would do it in America. That would be my thing. I think it should happen in America, and Americans should get jobs. That would be my thing. But I get what he's saying. I kind of get where he's going. Let him finish.
It could be so bad. This could be so magnificent.
But most Gazans don't want to leave, and leaders in Egypt and Jordan have said they don't want to take them.
The whole thing is a mess. And I think that if we can resettle, and I believe we can do it in areas where the leaders currently say no.
While tonight, the family of American-Israeli hostage Keith Siegel speaking to NBC News after he was released Saturday, following 484 days held captive.
There were no words. It was a wow It was an amazing, it was, oh my gosh, is this really happening?
How fun will it be for the hostages to go back and say, I was in this tunnel and now I'm eating in this beautiful restaurant, we're in the spot where I was being held captive. And now I'm eating in this stunning, beautiful restaurant with a view of the beautiful ocean. Time heals all wounds. Time heals all wounds. A lot of people are upset about this. I'm defending it. Sorry. I know people are mad. I'm not saying you have to kick the Gaza people out either. They can work. They want to work. Let them work. I think they should be able to work. They want to rebuild it. Let them rebuild their homes. Give them the chance to work in these luxury hotels that will be visited by Jewish people. Let them bring Jewish people their breakfast in a luxury hotel for money. I'm just saying. It seems to be now. Yes, I guess there will remain some bad blood, but let's not jump to conclusions. I'm in this movie, and you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about how just movies in general, this have just not been. They've said in an article recently, the audience has moved on from movies in general. I'm thinking that this one that we're doing, that Spade and Theo are doing, that they've been nice enough to involve me in, is feeling like an early 2000s comedy, raunchy and funny and silly, and I think people really like it. Emilia Perez is a film about trans people where? In Mexico?
I think so. Let me see.
Is it about Mexican trans people? Now, it's nominated for every award that you can nominate anything for. A Mexican lawyer is offered an unusual job to help a notorious cartel boss retire and transition into living as a woman, fulfilling a long-held desire. So it's about a leader of a Mexican cartel who is also trans. Now, outside of like 12 people in Hollywood, no one wanted this, obviously. No one. Not Mexicans, not trans people. Nobody wanted this. No one of any denomination, no one on any spectrum, nobody wanted Emilia Perez. It doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense from a marketing standpoint. It just doesn't. But this town, the one that I'm sitting in currently, doesn't care anymore about. They just want to give each other awards. They want to circle the drain. They don't care. They're just having little shows for themselves. Little ceremonies for themselves, a little soiree, and they have this movie, Emilia Perez, and it is terrible. It's a horrible film, but that doesn't matter because who cares? It has been overshadowed. Now, the only thing I like about the film is the tweets of its trans star because she's incredibly racist. And I love her. She's denigrated Muslims. She called George Floyd a drug addict con artist. She said this about the Oscars. I didn't know if I was watching an Afro-Korean festival, a Black Lives Matter demonstration, or 8M. She's a wild card. These tweets, forget their content. They're just fun. They're the best thing about Emilia Perez is that this bitch, a trans racist. Now, by the way, if you want to talk about something that can bring us all together, it's not Emilia Perez, it's this trans racist bitch. That's who can bring us together, a trans racist. Not a movie, a fucking musical about a cartel tranny. No, a real-life trans racist who criticizes Islam. And by the way, her tweets, they're a bit colorful, obviously. But she can notice that there's a lot of Muslims in Europe. You're allowed to notice that. You're allowed to notice these things. She's allowed to notice this. She's doing it in a rather colorful way, but she's allowed to notice these things. And the people in her cast, Zoe Saldana and all these people, are disowning her. Zoe Saldana said something where she goes, I'm disappointed in her actions, but I'm still allowing myself to experience joy. They're so psychotic. She's processing. Zoe Saldana, go back to that. She was processing. There you go, Variety article. This is the article in Variety about Zoe Saldana being able to handle these tweets, by the way. She goes, Zoe Saldana is, quote, processing the Carla Sofia Gascon fallout, but, quote, I'm allowing myself to still experience joy amid Amelia Perez Oscar campaign. So I'm glad that Zoe Saldana is still allowing herself to experience joy. This is why, by the way, America has watched While This Place Burned without a care. But she's allowing herself to experience joy. I'm allowing myself to experience the joyful tweets. How about that? I'm joyous of reading the tweets that are fun. Why can't a trans person have a little fun? That's the point of X. Is this Zoe responding?
I think so, yeah.
All right, let's see what she says. Zoe Saldana responding to, oh, we can't hear it again.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I got it.
And his creative team. It was also reconnecting through sense memory of my experiences growing up in Latin America, and finding some kind of commonality with Rita. And it turns out that we did have a lot more.
No, that's
Oh, that's not it. We want to hear what she says about George. Ask her about George Floyd. Ask her about George Floyd. Where's this bitch Carla? I want to hear her. Can we get her up? She seems like a lot of fun. She's not going to the Oscar. Well, I want her to go. Why can't she go? I want her to go. Let's see this. Now, this is at the Golden Globes. Before all of these tweets resurfaced about this movie, about this musical about a cartel boss who's trans, that no one has seen and no one cares about and no one likes and no one wants. And the only thing good about it is the racist tweets of the woman in it. And now let's watch.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I chose these colors tonight.
Because of George
the Buddhist
Floyd.
color, because I have a massive hope for you. The light always wins over darkness.
Yes, she's racist. I love her. Yes, that's code. Oh, my God. This bitch is great. The light wins over the darkness. This is amazing. Keep going. Yes, yet they have no idea. She's a white nationalist.
I have a lot of things to
Yes.
to say to you because
The border.
you can maybe
The border.
put us in jail.
Yes.
You can
Yes. Jail.
beat us up, but you never
Yes.
can take away our soul,
Our ex,
our
our Twitter.
existence, our identity.
That's right.
And I want to say to you, raise your voice,
Raise your voice.
freedom, and say, I am who I am,
And who I am believes George Floyd's a criminal.
know who you want.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Now they are throwing this woman, this lovely lady, this feminine lady woman. You don't understand. They're throwing this lovely woman into the street just because she's noticed that there's a couple of burqas in France. She noticed that a lot of people in France are wearing the full garbage bag, and she's not into it. A lot of people aren't because they like France and they want it to be French. I'm sorry. I apologize to you that you're so offended by that they want France to be for French people and Muslims that come there who also identify as being French. Not people that are just living on a landmass who want to keep every single component of their culture, even if it's in direct opposition to the values of the culture of the place they've lived and moved. So she noticed that in a colorful way on Twitter. Perhaps too colorful, I don't know. But what did she say? How many times will history have to expel the Moors from Spain? We have not yet realized what this threat of civilization means, which constantly attacks the freedom and coherence of the individual. It's not about racism, it's about Islam, and that is what Gascon says. I mean, listen, here's the way I've always felt about this type of thing. If she has these opinions and they're not known to anyone and she's hired to do a film and you're all pretending that this movie is good and it's garbage and we all know it, and then these opinions surface and you all have to distance yourself from this person and say and pretend that didn't she do the job in the movie? Wasn't that her job? She's an actress. The job is to pretend to be someone else. Did she do it or not? And this idea that, and this is why it's the they're just eating their tail. They're chasing their tail and then they're eating it. It isn't really a big deal to me that a trans woman doesn't love Islam. Why is that such a big shock to people in Hollywood that a trans woman wouldn't automatically adore Islam? Why is it a huge deal to Zoe Saldana or any of these people? Now, obviously, we know why it's a big deal, because these people have to completely pretend they have this logically incoherent position that even though fundamentalist Islam believes nothing they believe, they still have to welcome anyone into America. It just is the position of everyone in LA, for whatever reason, to just say that everyone belongs in America, no matter what they believe. Unless you're Russian. Unless you're like a Russian or something. But everyone else. Even if you believe that women should have to wear a thing and, and I'm not even I'm not like a guy who's going on the crusade against Islam. I have no interest in telling anyone in any Islamic country how to believe, what to believe or how to behave or what kind of government they need. And I don't want American troops or American money or American resources trying to, quote, democratize any of those places. I have zero interest in it. There's a lot of friends I have that are Muslim. I have friends that are devout Muslims. I have friends that are not as devout. I have friends across the spectrum. I do not care. I do not live in a Muslim country. I do not want to. I don't want to live in a Jewish country. I don't want to live in Israel, which there is one called Israel. It's an ethno-state. I don't want to live there. Sorry. I don't want to live there. I like living in America, and I like that America has different groups of people that are represented, but we have a separation of church and state. We have laws. We have customs. And here's the reality of the situation. We also have a culture. We have a culture. And we need to agree upon, to some degree, what that culture is. I've been getting these for people, and people really love them. These aura frames, A-U-R-A frames. I mean, these are like these digital picture frames. We could put all these different photos. I mean, listen, people love collecting photos of their grandkids, and they have all the different photos loaded. It's so easy. Boomers can use it. Anyone can use it. It was named the #1 digital picture frame by Wirecutter, and for good reason. It's really easy to set up. They have a bunch of different frame options, okay? The best part is that it comes with an unlimited storage. All you need is the free Aura app and a Wi-Fi connection, and you can upload as many photos and videos as you want year-round. It's such a cool thing. Right now, you can save on the perfect gift that keeps on giving by visiting auraframes.com. That's A-U-R-A, frames, F-R-A-M-E-S, auraframes.com. For a limited time, listeners can get $20 off their best-selling Carver matte frame with code TIM. That's auraframes.com, A-U-R-A. I'm telling you right now, support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. $20 off. Use code TIM. Save on the gift that keeps on giving. Exclusive $20 off. Carver matte at auraframes.com. Use code TIM at checkout to save. This is the best gift I've given anyone. They are so happy to relive special memories. You don't need to choose the memory. There are so many memories that people are reliving all the time. It's actually a beautiful gift. People start crying. They start laughing. They're happy. They're filled with emotion. It's such a beautiful thing to watch someone take a trip down memory lane, and it's a free trip. And it costs them nothing. They don't have to leave their couch. And then this beautiful picture frame, and they look at all these pictures, and they go, remember that time Johnny got sick on the boat? I'm telling you, it's great. They love it. You love it. They love it to see the pictures of all the people in their lives. The people in their life. They're in their lives. The different people. And at the end of the day, American culture is a distinct, unique thing that lots of people have added to, but it's also something that has definite characteristics. And it's not a fundamentalist Islamic country, and it's not a fundamentalist Christian country. It's a Judeo-Christian country that has a separation of church and state, that is pluralistic, and that allows people to worship freely as they will. And they shouldn't be persecuted, whether they're Christian and believe a thing or Muslim and believe a thing. But you have to make sure that everybody's interested in that. You have to make sure, if you have one group of people that is coming in and saying, we don't really have an interest in participating in your culture, we have an interest in taking it over, that's not ideal. And if this trans woman who is in this abortion of a musical points or seems to feel that way, and it's shocking, all these people in LA are like, oh my God, why isn't this trans woman in love with Islam? It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that they're shocked by this. Now, she said it a little colorfully, sure. But this idea that she's supposed to be like excited about, this is why the town that I'm sitting in right now is precipitously declining quickly. Like everyone's like, oh, Nikki Glaser killed at the Golden Globes. Of course she did. They need her. She doesn't need them. Nikki Glaser's the star. A lot of the people in the Golden Globes are losing relevancy minute by minute. Nikki's the comic. She's the talent. She's the one that put the work in. Nikki's the one who's impressive. A lot of the people in that room are not impressed. That wasn't impressive. That woman, they'll put us in jail. Can we watch the trailer for Amelia Perez? This nightmare?
Is the clip from one of the songs.
Oh, great. Please. Thank you.
Hello, very nice to meet you. I'd like to know about sex change operation.
I see. Men to woman, a woman
This
to
is
men.
like, by the way, this is like something you would think the Daily Wire would make as a spoof. This is like a Matt Walsh video made as a spoof. I cannot even imagine. I cannot even believe and imagine that this exists. Okay? I am only going to watch this now in support of its star. Continue.
Man to woman. The risks.
Show this at the border. They'll self-deport. They'll go home. They'll go home, by the way. They won't. This is the movie they all have to watch at the border. They'll go home. You won't need ICE. They'll leave. Penis to vagina, vagina to penis. You imagine watching this? Going, what is going on over there? You know what I mean? Like, can you tell a story with any dignity, with any artistry, is a nightmare. Here's the other problem with this town. People have to be fired. People, I can't believe he offered the CIA buyouts. Oh, I know. I so CIA. You nuts? You're feeling bad for the spies now? Is there no one you won't pity? The pharmaceutical companies, the people that manufacture the poison cereal, and now the spies? Is there not one group of monsters you people won't pity? I have friends that lost jobs or work for the NIH and stuff, and I feel bad for them. I feel bad for anyone that loses work. But Republicans have always wanted to make the government smaller. It's why you try to win the election, Democrats. You don't run a dementia patient followed by a woman who has no idea what the hell's going on. You don't create a brand of politics that's so viscerally offensive to a lot of swing voters that you then end up creating the most potent Republican strain of conservatism you've had in the country in years. And you did that. I explained to you. I'm not gonna go back and tell you how you did it. Go listen to my episode right after the election. It was obvious to most people what was happening. The overreach of a lot of people on the liberal end of the spectrum. You can't tell people they suck. They have this unearned privilege, especially if they're people sitting in Ohio or in the Rust Belt or wherever the hell they happen to be, and they're broke, and their parents are alcoholics, and their brother died of a fentanyl overdose, and their community's been gutted, and then you tell them that they're responsible for all the ills of the world and that they have privilege, and then they don't vote for you. Whoa, what a shock. How shocked. It's almost as shocking as the trans woman not falling in line and loving Islam. What is so many shocks. Everybody's shocked about everything. Nobody understands. So you have this situation where people in this town need to get fired. They need to get fired. And I'm not going to say their names, but I could. People in this town have destroyed their companies, and they've destroyed the American faith in the movie business, the entertainment business, by the way. And they should be fired because they failed. They failed. They've ended up destroying the companies that they were at the helm of with this garbage that people hate because they're in fear. You know, people at Netflix don't seem to be in fear. I think Ted Sarandos has done a good job. I think people at that, I don't agree with all the decisions there, but who cares what I think? Except the people that listen to this. But I think they've done a relatively good job. Relatively. But I think there's other, and this is Netflix, right? This crap?
Yeah.
Okay. Not on this. Not so much on this. I'm telling you right now, and I'm not singling anyone out, people in this town need to be fired. Just like people in D.C. need to be fired. Because you've failed. You've turned large swaths of the American public against your business. You've impoverished people. You've destroyed their lives. There are writers right now that can't get a fucking job who are moving back in with their parents because you failed. And you should be fired. And you should leave. I'm sorry. There's a lot of zeros here that have been making money for a long fucking time because they have zero talent at what they do. They're executives. They should be ashamed of themselves. They kicked everyone out of this town that had guts and balls, and I don't mean that in a gender way. There's a lot of chicks with balls, as you all remind me. But there was a lot of people in this town that took major risks, and some of them failed miserably and killed themselves, and some of them succeeded beyond their wildest imaginations. That's what LA was built on. Those people have been kicked out, and they have brought in a group of quasi pseudo-intellectual fucking, shills. And they came in from the university system, and they came in speaking a language and they terrified people. They terrified people, and they invaded, and they're mediocre. And they are sticking around, and they spread like a cancer, and they need to go. And I don't know who's going to do it. I don't know how crazy it needs to get before some of these people are forced to answer for the tremendous mistakes they've made. So many of my friends right now are taking Nutrafol. It's the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand. Trusted by over 1.5 million people. In just 3 to 6 months, go from a hat guy to a hair guy with thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding. Nutrafol's hair growth supplements are physician formulated using 100% drug-free ingredients. Their patented technology provides consistent, reliable results. Men's also reported no compromise in sexual performance. While many supplements rely solely on ingredient studies, Nutrafol clinically tests final formulations to ensure their efficacy. In a clinical study, 84% of men showed improvement in their hair after 6 months of taking Nutrafol men's hair growth supplement. Building a hair growth routine is simple. Purchase online, no prescription required. Automated deliveries, free shipping to help keep you on track. Plus, with Nutrafol subscription, you can save up to 20%. You'll have access to free naturopathic doctor results, and a Headspace meditation membership is included. Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com/men and enter the promo code TIM. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com/men. Spelled Nutrafol.com/men, promo code TIM. That's Nutrafol.com/men, promo code TIM. This really works, and my friends all love it. Here's my new favorite entertainer responding. She is my favorite entertainer responding. And this idiot, I hate this bald guy. What's his name, this armadillo? I hate him. What's his name? Do you know his name? I hate him.
Juan Carlos Arceniegas.
Oh, I thought he was someone else I hate. He looks like someone I hate, but maybe I don't hate him. I hate someone that looks like him. But the point is this. He's asking this talented woman who's a free spirit to renounce her nomination. This is disgusting. This is more press than anyone's gotten at the fucking thing. Let's watch this.
¿Has pensado tú, por ejemplo, renunciar a tu nominación?
Why do they have to speak in Spanish? No, I mean, literally, can't they speak in English about this? Why does she have to say racist things in Spanish? I'm trying to be her fan. This woman needs to learn to call George Floyd a drug addict in English if she wants me to be her fan. I'm really trying here. I'm trying to be your fan, but if you're going to be racist in Spanish, I have a problem with that. She has to be racist in English. I'm sorry. I'm doing the best that I can. Okay, I'm going to try to read the subtitles here, but I shouldn't have to because it's America. I cannot renounce a nomination because what I have done is work. And what is being valued is my acting work. She's right. Also, I cannot renounce a nomination because I have not committed any crime, nor harmed anyone, nor am I racist, nor am I any of the things all these people have tried to make others believe I am. So, since I have nothing to hide, that's why I am here talking to you right now. I have no reason to renounce. Anyone who wants to set me aside because they think that way, I only ask them to be truthful, justly, and absolutely prove that I have written something with the intent to harm or that it has a meaning because I am the way they are saying. Because if that is the case, the world we live in is going to be very difficult to recover. I'm into it. I like her. I like her. She's like, and here's what I like about her. Here's what I like about her. She's refusing to go away. She's not going away. She's fighting. She's standing her ground. Some would say she's the George Zimmerman of her time. And this woman is making the Oscars a pitifully boring mess. Really interesting. And I hope she shows up. And I know she's not going to win because everyone there's a coward. But man, how great would it be if she won? It would be interesting and we'd watch. I don't think you can you can throw people away anymore the way you were doing it years ago. You have to deal with people and their ideas. You have to deal with this lovely woman. You have to deal with her. Still, the Gascon fiasco has been unavoidable. According to many of the Academy members and industry figures I spoke to over the last week, liberal Oscar voters who were inclined to support the trans empowerment narrative of Emilia Perez as a rebuke to President Trump. Yeah, that's going to work. Can you imagine? Let's rebuke him. We'll rebuke him with this movie. As a rebuke to President Trump may now find that mission complicated by Gascon's old tweets, especially after the industry trade Variety ran a recent editorial about Gascon's press blitz they deemed intractable. That deemed the intractable actress the Donald Trump of Oscar season. Wow. So the Netflix has begun to refocus its campaign around Gascon's co-star Zoe Saldana, an industry favorite who is considered a strong contender for the supporting actor. Ted, don't do it, Ted. Ted, fight for, what's her name? The other one, what's her name?
Zoe Saldana?
No, the one that I want to win. What's her name? Ted, don't abandon this woman in her hour of need. Carla Sofia Gascon. Light will always win over the darkness. Light will always win over the dark people. The light people will win over the dark people. It's fun. It's fun and funny. Why are we not embracing a little bit of fun? I'm not going to agree with everything Trump's going to do, obviously. But I do think that we have to, if you disagree with something, and listen, I'm not for like every immigrant in America being deported, but I think a lot of criminals have to go. Not this woman. Not this woman. You will not deport her ICE in front of me. I will stand with her. Why can't I stand with this woman? This Mexican woman? Why is that a problem? Why am I a problem? This is my Mexican to stand with now in her time. Can you stand with me to stand with her? Where is Hollywood standing with me, standing with her? Why can't I stand with this trans Mexican? I thought that was the whole thing. I thought that was what we were supposed to be doing. I stand with her. I thought that was the whole thing we were supposed to be doing. Standing with trans people of color. Well, I'm doing it. Where is Netflix? Where is Hollywood? Where are all my friends in Hollywood not standing with this trans person of color? Why is Tim Dillon the only person standing with this Mexican trans person? I will shelter her from ICE. If they come, I will shelter her. I have real estate. I can put you in it. Sophia. What is it again? What is this bitch's name? Sophia. Carla Sophia Gascon Coulter. She can come and stay in my home. And if ICE knocks on the door, goes, she's not here. And of course you're going to hear her. They're going to hear her voice. She'll be eating a lobster roll in the backyard in the Hamptons. She's going to be going, demographics is destiny. Demographics is destiny. And they may find her. But I will shelter this woman, and I would frankly like a bit of goodwill from a community of people that's not always a fan of mine, because I'm literally saying I'm sheltering this woman if anyone tries. They're ignoring her. They're putting her in the shadows. This is everything they say they don't want. They don't want people in the shadows. They don't want them to be voiceless. Well, wait a minute. You're now doing it. You're doing it. Gascon will focus on those European awards ceremonies and skip the two stateside shows. She's been slated to appear this weekend. The Critics' Choice Awards on Friday, the Producers Guild Awards on Saturday. Whether she will attend the Screen Actors Guild on the 23rd or the Oscar ceremony next month is yet to be determined. Though Netflix will no longer cover expenses for the Spain-based star to make those trips to Los Angeles, I will. I am. I actually am. I will. First class. First class, I'm your guest. You go to the Oscars, first class. If they don't want to pay, I pay. I pay for you. What is it? Sophia Gascon? Carla Sophia Gascon Trump? I pay. You come, first class. Beverly Hills Hotel Suite Souffle on me. This month it's pink. It's a raspberry. It's stunning. You come, we go. Nobu Malibu, me and you, together forever. Many in the industry were surprised that Netflix strategist and Gascon's own publicist had failed to persuade her to scrub her old social media posts before the Oscar bid exposed her to a new level of global scrutiny. You can expect that sort of across-the-board purge to be a campaign mainstay in the future. Oh, I bet it will be. Can you find, and I don't think we can, but can you find a copyright-free I Got You Babe from Sonny and Cher? It probably doesn't exist. But I will tell you this right now. I don't know if this woman watches this program. I imagine she doesn't, but I will tell you right now, I got you, babe. I will fly you first class to my country. I will put you up in a great hotel, and I will bring you to the Academy. We will go together to the Academy Awards. Emilia Perez, and I hope that she takes me up on it. I don't know that she will, but I would love to take her to the new Gaza. I'd love to take you to Nobu Gaza. Nobu Gaza is coming, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. There's nothing anyone can do about it. Just like everybody is going to get exposed for some shit they said in a tweet, there's going to be a Nobu Gaza. You're going to go to, and you're not going to be able to get in. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to get in. It's going to be hard to get in. That's the thing. It's going to be a Nobu Gaza, and it's going to be difficult to get in. And it's sad, you know? I wish it went a different way. I wish it went a different way. I wish it went a different way. I've said that. But at the end of the day, you just have to kind of, you know, you ebb and flow, you bob and weave. And I hope to God, my concern, I don't want the Palestinians displaced. I want them to take part in this. Are they going to? Probably not. And the Ukrainians, no. That's not part of the plan. The plan is not for people, this homeland thing that everyone's, no. They want to turn everything into a high-end mall so that the wealthiest people in the world can global jet set and buy different purses and take photos next to a pool. And they're going to put everybody else in, I don't know, some type of like, steerage on a ship. I mean, that's the plan here. Trump signs order barring transgender student athletes from women's sports. Here's the deal, folks. This is another one of these things that Democrats were wrong. They should have just said trans people deserve respect, but we can't have, we can't have children and pubescent teenagers transitioning medically because we're not sure of the science and it could do harm to them. And we can't have biological men competing in women's sports. My bona fide supporting the trans community should never be called into question. I literally just said I would fly one of them here who's quite controversial. But I'm doing it because I don't run when the going gets tough. I'm just saying. I just can't wait till they call me tomorrow. We have an animated show with Netflix. What are you doing? I go, I'm offering to, I'm saying they don't have to pay. I'm saying they don't have to pay. I'm taking the burden off them. How about that? I'm taking the burden off them. I'm doing the right thing for once. Always, but recognizably for once. Supporting a trans woman of color and paying for her to come to America. Okay? So I think that at the end of the day, Hollywood must reform. It must be reborn. But first, unfortunately, people are going to have to get fired. They're going to have to leave. And by the way, it's not who you think. The show Hacks, I think, is a very good show, even though some of their writers have called me a fascist on Twitter. Bygones, I don't care. It doesn't matter. The point is this. I think it's actually an excellent show. I'm not even talking about those people, by the way. I'm not even talking about people who publicly dislike me. I'm just saying other people have to get fired. I'm not even talking you. It's not even you who I'm speaking of firing, if you hear this, whoever it is. Because I think a lot of those people that don't even like me, I go, you do a fair job. I like to watch that show. It's a fine show. It's not The Sopranos, but it's a damn good show. It's a good show. It doesn't matter that co-producers will hate me. Who cares? Where am I going to bump into them? The point is, it's not like, I'm not saying kick the liberals out of Hollywood. Most of my friends are crazy liberals. They're fun, some of them. But we need to go back to it's got to make fucking sense. It's got to make sense. That's all. Penis to vagina to penis. What the fuck's going on? Nobody's even trying to make money here anymore. timdilloncomedy.com. We're in Canada. Isn't that nice? Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, Winnipeg. We've added second shows. We're going to be in London soon. Well, I did the big London show, Royal Albert Hall, last year, and it was amazing. Me and Sam Talent, we had so much fun. I loved London, but we're going to do a bunch of podcasts. We're going to do stand-up over there. We're going to do the Leicester Square Theater, a small venue. We're going to call it An Intimate Evening with a Psychopath, and I'm going to do 3 or 4 shows there, and it's going to be fun, and I'm going to do some of your chat shows and whatnot, and I love London. I love going there. I love Knightsbridge, and I love Harrods. And again, that's the Islam. It's not Islam. It's fundamentalism. It's not Islam. It's fundamentalism. It's when people are fully not respecting the values of a country they're living in. There's a lot of great people in the Saudi royal family who are fans of the show who I really like. They have they have indoor lakes where they do jet skiing, and I like that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, we all have to just, relax. You can't move into a country and turn it into the country you left. That's not what anybody wants. Just like you can't move to a state and turn it into the state that you left. You left for a reason. You came here for a reason. And I think this actress was colorfully discussing that. I don't think she's a terrible person. Maybe she is. I don't know. But I'm offering, well, it's a little wild. She said Islam is becoming a hotbed of infection for humanity that urgently needs to be cured. It's a bit much. That's not my words. I wouldn't have said it's a bit much. Maybe coach. I fly her in coach. Teach her less. timdilloncomedy.com. Thank you. Good night. Goodbye. Emilia Perez.